Hi, my name is Rebecca Guayo, and I'm going to talk about my paper in public administration. What is public administration? Public administration basically execute government policies. They are also an academic discipline that studies these executing plans and prepares civil servants for working in the public services. Working at all levels of government, both at home and abroad, and the public administration manages a variety of nonprofit organizations, associations, and interest groups. Basically, public administration is concerned with the management of public programs and some of the considerable fields within the public managers, whose work ranges across a variety of interest, government, and public affairs. So the article that I chose was written by Sanji Fifi, which I am sorry for chopping up his name. He basically speaks about how nonprofit organizations make different performance measurements. Upon using a performance measurement, they collect the data to measure how well program or service is doing. This general type of performance measurement has no real use and can be difficult to make decisions, whereas areas such as operational improvement and problematic improvement. In order to use data to change the way managers make decisions, a nonprofit organization needs to switch from performance measurements to performance management. Performance measurement is an important part of accountability. Continued, performance measurement comes from performance management, but when they are combined, they can help nonprofit organizations reach the goals that they are trying to achieve. This correlates into a relationship of what we're learning in public administration in the public, private, and nonprofit spectrum. So this article is very interesting because it was a great example of this particular subject, such as a good performance management process requires availability of skills, information, and technology that the staff can use to gather the data required for the company. So we're going to move on to the next slides to explain how the 6 pillars come into play. The adoption of this performance management program taps into all 6 pillars that has to do with public administration, especially because it relates to nonprofit organizations that in turn help the public. So, in the subject of politicians, when there is no transparency, there is no trust, and no one will elect whoever is running for a position. So there needs to be a trust built and transparency, which is key for the first pillar. Our second pillar, accountability, has already been shown from nonprofit organizations through using performance measurements. The nonprofit organization needs to report to different levels of government to show that there are types of business they say who they are, which is a 503c and the like. Another pillar, legitimacy in the public administration reveals how the issue of administration legitimacy is directly implicated with all organizations. Legitimacy is one of the top questions asked from investors and ultimately from the public. They want to know that you're legit. Continued for our pillars. Organization needs to show equity and fairness in all levels of their organizational structure. Equality aims to ensure that everyone gets the same thing in order to enjoy full, healthy lives. An effective representation of our bureaucracy offers a public administration of all people in terms of demographics. This is done to ensure all groups involved are well represented in the decision process of public administration and government. People always like to look at that. Efficiency is basically the relationship between inputs and outputs. Therefore, article falls directly under the pillar of efficiency and effectiveness, considering that the thesis is about performance, the measurement methods, and performance management methods. My final thoughts. Public administration is important and needed in America, and specifically in the strictly gray economy area, and such as securing proper tax collection, preventing economic crime, securing and strengthening democratic institutions and mechanisms, and much more because it's such a broad spectrum. This paper was able to present a current event related to the public administration, as well as a brief explanation of the relevance of the 6 pillars. Of course, I like to incorporate Woodrow Wilson because I find him as key to the revolution of modern public administration. He argued that the comparative analysis in public administration should be made between the government and privately owned organization, so the government isn't making a profit. Ding ding, very important. All in all, public administration should be aspired to run efficiently, much like a business. Thank you for your time.